G'day legends, TJC Sports here. Welcome back to my NRL Round predictions video once more. Today, we're going to be doing Round 4. Round 3 was doing so good for me until, of course, it didn't go so well. Ever since Tigers beat Sharks, it was just wrong, mate. Ruined my tipping week. But I digress. Hopefully, I can do better this week, guys. Round 4, perfect week. I can feel it coming, legends. These are the predictions that you need to listen to and follow. If you enjoy, as always, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with all the content as it comes out. Also, keep in mind that these are just my opinions and not fact. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below how poorly I did this. With all of that out of the way, let's get on with it. To kick off round 4, we have the Sydney Roosters versus the Penrith Panthers at the wonderful Allianz Stadium. What a ground this is. Unfortunately, though, I don't think this game will be as good as it could have been, with obviously Nathan Cleary being ruled out for the Penrith Panthers. If it was both full strength, it would be brilliant. And I don't doubt how Brad Schneider can fill in for the injured halfback, but what Cleary means to that side, the form Roosters are on. If Cleary was there, I'd probably go with the Panthers 1-12. But with him out, I'm going to take a bit of a risk here, okay? I feel like a lot of people will be taking this one, but I'm going to do it, guys, okay? And call me a fool for it. I think the Penrith Panthers definitely have a shot, but I'm going with the Sydney Roosters 1-12. Mate, how they smashed the Bunnies last week and how they've been looking has just been brilliant to me. Probably one of the better starting sides this season. Then, to kick off our Friday footy, it is the South Sydney Rabbitohs versus the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Before this season kicked off, I would have easily tipped the Bunnies in this game to win 13+. However, South Sydney have given me nothing to be optimistic this round about them. Look, I have a lot of respect for South Sydney. I've got a lot of family that support them. But they've started so poorly, man. And look, the Dogs have started poorly too. Their only real good win being against the Titans last week, where obviously the Dragons also flogged those guys too. So it's really tough to see a world where this isn't 1-12 for me. And if it is, I'll be surprised. I'm so tempted to tip the Doggies in this one, and I know majority of the people I know are probably going with the Doggies based on what we've seen from both teams. However, due to early days, how stupid it is or not, I'm going to keep the faith here and say that the South Sydney Rabbitohs win in a very tight match by under 12 points, 1-12 legends. I just think with the team they have, they can't possibly keep on losing, right? If they lose versus the Dogs, you won't see me tipping them for a while. And then we jump states over to Queensland for a rivalry game. It is the Brisbane Broncos versus the undefeated North Queensland Cowboys. Broncos coming off a loss, Cowboys off a win. Broncos, though, in their defence, were missing Reece Walsh quite early into that game, and you could tell how much he meant to their game plan based on how they went with versus without him on the field. Payne Haas is also out still, which does not help the Broncos' case. Whereas Cowboys, for the most part, are pretty much a fully fit side. It's a tough one here. I think it'll come down to defence, really, which team can defend off the most points the best, but based on pure instinct alone, while yes, I did say in past streams that I would lean towards the Broncos, having thought about it a little, I've just got a feeling, guys, and I'm going to say the North Queensland Cowboys win by 1-12 points. I don't think it'll be any more than that, but I think the Cowboys will win this one. To be fair, though, it really is a flip of the coin. Then, move over, people. It is Super Saturday, kicking it off with the Dragons versus Manly. Dragons choking a comeback lead, and Manly choking a 14-0 lead in 12 minutes, I think it was, against the Parramatta Eels. My wonderful Eels. I'm not complaining, though. Made the vlog a lot better, didn't it? A few bad decisions went against Manly last week, you know, but I feel like overall it was just a really poorly ref game in a lot of instances. So credit to Manly. They had a good game last week despite the result, and I think they'll have a good game this week. Dragons, guys, they blew a good lead against the North Queensland Cowboys and haven't looked that special ever since their win over the Titans, which right now at this point in time doesn't seem like a bragging right. So I will be leaning towards Manly in this one, 1-12 again.
There's not going to be many 13 pluses this week from what I can tell from my opinion. Sorry, Legends, about that. But yeah, I think Manly will just about get there. I think the Dragons will give them a good fight though. Not long after, to finish off our shortest Super Saturday, we have the Gold Coast Titans versus the Dolphins Legends. In the time these two teams have played, they've been pretty good games, honestly. So, this might be the kind of game the Titans really needed after a very poor start to the season. Dolphins, on the other hand, while not perfect, have had definitely a better start. Tino Pasuamale last week getting ruled out for the season with an ACL injury has got to blow for the Titans heading into this one. Not only do the Dolphins have the strength, numbers and form advantage, but also they've had an entire week to prepare for this game. And while the bye doesn't necessarily give you a win based on history, it definitely can help you out. So as much as for the Titans fans, I want to tip them, I will be going with the Dolphins here. I'll say only 1-12, as who knows, with the return of Jaden Campbell and all that, maybe they do better, but yeah, I just got a feeling here I can't go past the Dolphins. Starting off Sunday, we will have the Warriors versus the Knights. The Newcastle Knights, guys, starting a lot slower than many expected. For me, though, they're doing about as well as I thought they would go at the start. The Warriors, guys, yes, it hasn't been the perfect beginning. They did go 0-2 and only got their first win over the Canberra Raiders. However, I've been impressed by how they played, whereas I can't really say the same for the Knights. They did grind out a win over the Storm, but the Storm were without Cameron Munster and Jerome Hughes, so you got to take that into account, and they barely grinded it out in that by, 2 points? Maybe both teams getting their first win will lift them up and lift the Knights a little higher, but who knows, Legends. I think it being in New Zealand and how the Warriors have looked compared to Knights, I can't look past the Warriors, and I'm going to say the Warriors win 13 plus in this one. Prove me wrong though, Newcastle Knights, prove me wrong. I would not be too upset. To follow that, we have our second last game of the round. It is the Cronulla Sharks versus the Canberra Raiders. Two teams that actually lost last round. The Sharkies to the West Tigers, shockingly. Apologies, Tigers fans. I did not give you enough of a shout in that one. And the Raiders to the Warriors. To be fair, though, they were in New Zealand, and they did do an alright job for the most part, but Warriors always looked like winning that one. Now, the big question here will be who decides to bounce back better, who decides to react more. The Raiders, guys, they are the kind of team that can just grind out a result, and they've had a good start so far. But the Sharkies have had a good start so far as well, if you ignore the Tigers win. So, will it push a team down or push them both up? I think it'll put them both up to this one, and it could be a game of the round. However, based on the season so far and my gut feeling, I'm going with the Cronulla Sharks 1-12 in this one in a very tight competitive contest. Then, last but definitely not least, it is my Parramatta Eels versus the West Tigers. I see a lot of people are tipping the Tigers in this one. And look, I can understand why Mitchell Moses out for a long while. And, of course, Bryce Carty likely to be out. He's been named in the side so far, but at any moment he could be pulled out and make this whole conversation outdated. But for now, he's in the team, so for now, we're just missing Moses, and we could be missing Cardi too, likely. So, yes, I get why people are tipping the Tigers in this instance. However, firstly, with the second row with Cardi, we got plenty of players that could fill into that position. My favourite being Kelma Tuolangi. As for the issue of Mitchell Moses being out, I think we've got it okay in the halves still. We could do a lot worse than Blaze Talangi, who absolutely shined versus Manly, and I have no doubt can fill that 5'8" position better than he did the centre position. And Dylan Brown at halfback. Look, Dylan Brown's a 5'8", but he can do that role. I'm happy with Dylan Brown to do his time at halfback and cover for us. Those two together, not too much of an issue for me versus the Tigers. All we got to do is keep our composure and we can get over the line in this one. I'm fully ready for the fact that West Tigers could win this, especially with the momentum coming off the win over the Sharkies. But I'm backing my side here, okay, guys? And I'm going to go Parramatta Eels to win 1-12. I say 1-12 as I respect the challenge the West Tigers could give us, and I back Benji as a coach so much, Legends. It'll also be the return of Sivo, which can only mean good for us. I know, Legends, not all of you rate him, but he's one of our better options that we have on the wing right now for me. Anyways, we'll see you on Easter Monday, but it should be an absolute cracker of a game that I'll be vlogging as always. And those are my round 4 predictions. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Consider checking out one of the other videos on screen, legends.